Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be showing you how to make this bubu dress that I'm wearing here. Now this dress was inspired by Rockefeller collections and today we'll be recreating it. So I've gone ahead to fold my adire fabric into 4 pieces and now I'll be marking out the neck. Now the width of the neck is going to be 3 inches while the length of the neck is also going to be 3 inches. Now note that this is the neck for the back piece. We are still later going to recut the neck for the front piece. So I'm going ahead to mark the 3 inches at the length of the neck and then at the depth it's also 3 inches. After that I'm going to join it together. Now after marking the neck, the next thing I'm going to do is mark the shoulder slant. Now I'm going to slant the shoulder of this dress with 1.5 inches. So right now I am marking out that 1.5 inches, after which I am going to draw the shoulder slant. Now I've gone ahead to mark out my 1 inches and my 1.5 inches. So right now I am drawing the shoulder slants. Now after drawing the shoulder slants, the next thing I'm going to do is measure out my shoulder. Now my shoulder divided by 2 is 9 inches, which I am going to go ahead and mark that. After which I am going to mark the length of the sleeve. The length of the sleeve for this dress will be 15 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and mark out 15 inches. Honestly, you can leave the length of this dress at the way it is without cutting it out, but I just wanted to cut it out because I'm still going to add another strap to it. Now this step is totally unnecessary. You can just ignore it because it's not yet time for us to mark it. But I still marked it here. So from that 15 inches mark, I am going to cut off the excess because I do not need it. So the straight line you saw me drawing there is just that 15 inches mark that I marked for the sleeve. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut off the excess fabric, which I do not need. But before cutting that out, I'm going to cut out the neck line, which I already marked. So now, as you can see, I'm cutting it off. Now after cutting out the neck, I am going to cut out the shoulder slant before cutting off the excess at the sleeve length. So guys, happy new month. I forgot to wish you guys a happy new month. Pray that September brings you all new blessings, beautiful blessings and joy all the way around. Make it a month to remember. Anyways, this is me just cutting out the excess fabric that I do not need. You can just leave it as it is. Honestly, I regretted cutting this out afterwards. It would have just made it more beautiful, but it still turned out great, so that's great. So I'm just cutting off this excess fabric which I do not need. Now after cutting out the excess on the side, I am going to go ahead and also cut out the excess at the bottom part and make it straight. Now this, I'm just using the full length of this adire because this is a maxi, a long dress, so you can just leave the length as it is, but it's not straight. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut off that excess. Now we've gone ahead to cut off the excess at the bottom of this dress. So right now the next thing I'm going to do is remove the front part, the back part of this dress, because we are going to be working on the front piece for now. So I'm going to go ahead and straighten this dress first. Honestly, this fabric is one of the hardest fabrics to work with. It is very light, but then, you know, because it's silk, it will just be moving everywhere. So if you're making your bubu dress with this type of adire, just make sure that you pin it down. So anyways, this is the front piece. Now I'm going to go ahead and extend the neckline. Now the neckline, remember that we cut it out before with a depth of 3 inches, but now I am going to extend it to make it depth of 8 inches. I initially made it 7 inches, but still went ahead to make it 8 inches depth. So this is me just extending that neckline and then making it a V line, a V neckline. So this is just it. This is where I initially marked 7 inches depth, but then still later added 1 inch to it to make it 8 inches neckline depth, if that makes sense. So I'm just extending it by 1 inch and then joining it together. Now after that, the next thing I'm going to do is just cut off this neckline, and after that we are going to split this front piece. Remember that if you watch the video of the dress or the picture that was inspired by Rockefeller, you will notice that this dress has a split from the front, on the front side down to the bottom. So after cutting out this neckline, we are going to split this dress, the front piece. We're going to split it from the neck down to the bottom of this dress. So I'm going ahead to cut out the neckline. This is just me showing you where I'm going to split this dress. So the next thing to do right now is to split this dress from the neck down to the bottom of the dress. Remember that right now the front piece is folded into two, so we are splitting it from the center front. That is the part where we are splitting. So after splitting the front piece, we are going to go ahead and reattach it. So I've gone ahead to mark out where the neckline of the front piece ended. That's where I'm pinning right now, where I already marked. Now from there, I am also going to mark from the shoulder of this dress. I am going to mark the length at which I want to stitch it up, where I want my split to start. So I want my split to start at 26 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and mark 26 inches. So from the neck line, from the end of the neckline, which I already marked, where I'm pointing right now, to that 26 inches mark, that is where we'll be stitching it up. We'll be stitching it up with 1/2 inch. Now after stitching it up, we are going to go ahead and pipe the neckline using a bias tape. We'll be doing this for both the front and back pieces. So I've gone ahead to pipe the neckline and stitch it up. So this is me just bringing the front and back piece together. So as you can see, this is the place where I stitch it up, and this is the neckline which I've already piped. Now after doing that, what we are going to do is hem the split line. The split, we are going to fold it into two and hem it. And after hemming that split, just watch where I'm showing you. After hemming that split, the next thing we are going to do is join the shoulder. So I've gone ahead to hem that split with 1/2 inch. So I just hemmed the split. So I did that for both sides of the split. Now I'm going to go ahead to join the shoulder, because that is the next step. So I'm bringing the front and back pieces together to show you. So the next step will be to join the shoulder. Now please, if you're making this dress, just pin. So I've gone ahead to join the shoulder. Now we're going to flip this dress inside out, because we'll be sewing on the front side of this dress. Now because this is a free bubu gown, a free bubu bat wing or butterfly wing dress, we will not be taking our body measurement to make it fit or make it tight. It's just a free dress. So I'm going to go ahead and mark out where I want my sleeve to start and end. So my sleeve is 14 inches in depth, so I'm gonna head to mark out that 14 inches. That is the line I'm drawing now. So the rest of my measurements will be taken from that 14 inches mark. So from the end of this dress, at the side of it, I am going to come in by 5 inches. Honestly, you can come in by more, but this is just what I was comfortable with. So I'm going to come in by 5 inches, and I am going to make this 5 inches mark from that sleeve point that I already marked down to the bottom of this dress. After making that 5 inches mark, I'm going to join it using a straight line and then draw it down to the bottom of this dress. I'm going to be doing this for both sides of the dress. Please pin this line that I drew here. It is a straight line, no, but because the fabric was just moving and turning on its own, it just looks like it wasn't straight. But honestly, trust me, this was a straight line. So make sure that you pin your fabric, and just be careful when making this type of bubu, because this fabric is just something else. It was just there, moving. Anyways, this is me joining the 5 inches mark, which I already marked. So after doing this, We are also going to do the same thing for the other side of this dress. Honestly, you see it better on the other side, I think. So I'm still making that 5-inch mark from the side of the dress into the other side. So just watch what I'm doing. Honestly, I really enjoyed making this dress. I was so happy, and the compliments I got, joy, God. Hey. Anyways, you're going to go ahead and do the same thing for the other side of the dress. But first, we'll be sewing on this line. This line that we have made, that straight line, that is where we'll be sewing. We'll be sewing it from that place where the line started down to the bottom of this dress. Now let me just show you again on the other side of the dress. So I'm going to make my 14 inches armhole line. Good. Now after doing that, I'll be coming in by 5 inches from the side into the dress, and I'm going to do that from the armhole depth point down to the bottom of this dress, join it with a straight line, and then sew on top of that line. We'll be sewing on the front side of this dress. Remember that this is a batwing dress, or a butterfly dress, butterfly kaftan, whatever you want to call it. Sha is a batwing. So I'm going to go ahead and sew this dress on the front piece, the parts where I marked. So after sewing it, I'm going to come back and show you the next step. Now, I've gone ahead to sew the sides of this dress. I did that for both sides of the dress. So I sewed it from that armhole point to the bottom of the dress. I did that for both sides of the dress. Now the next thing we're going to do is to add that strap on the side of this dress. So I've gone ahead to cut out the strap. It is 2.5 inches on fold. I cut it out, a straight strap, very long strap, 2.5 inches on fold. I also went ahead to iron it. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to start pinning the strap from one bottom part of the dress to the other side. So just watch what I'm doing. So I'm going to go ahead and pin it. Remember that this is a batwing dress, which makes it open, sort of open, instead of the sides joined together. The sides is joined together, but it also has an opening. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this strap from one side to another side and then sew it down. So I'm going to have to pin it down. So I'm just going to go ahead and stitch it up. Now after stitching it up, the next thing I'm going to do is hem this dress, and that's just it. Basically we are done. So stitch up the strap, attach the strap to the dress, and then hem it, iron the dress, and we are good to go. So guys, that'll be it for this tutorial. I hope you really enjoyed it. So make sure to subscribe to our channel if you love what you see. Subscribe to our channel, like our post. Trust me, you help this page grow by liking and watching our videos. So make sure you watch our videos and subscribe, and thank you very much. Make sure you come back next time. Thank you.